Hey guys, okay, we are moving on past angles. So you did your angle assessment yesterday, and today we are starting a new unit. So we are starting our unit on conversions. So conversions are all about measurement. So measuring different weights, measuring different lengths, measuring different amounts of liquid volume. We're going to be measuring a bunch of different stuff and then converting it, which means like changing, um, not changing the amount of what's in it, but by figuring out how much is in something. So kind of like you guys should know like 12 inches are in a foot, right? That's a conversion. So you could say 2 feet is 24 inches because we multiplied, or there's 3 feet in a yard. So we're going to be working with things like that. So today is just kind of our introduction to measurement, and really what it's going to take is you to just use your common sense. Now, do you know what I mean by common sense? So it's just like, what makes sense to you? Is that a reasonable thought? So really what I want you to do, put on your common sense hats, and I just want you to think about today. Reasonableness, excuse me. So like this expo marker, right? If I said this expo marker is 4, so 4 what? Would it be like, is this expo marker 4 inches? Or is this expo marker 4 miles long? Right? Of course, it's not 4 miles long. That's unreasonable. So like use your common sense. What makes sense? This is probably about 4 inches long, right? This pen here, is it about 1 ounce or is it about 1 ton, right? It's not a ton. That's like what the weight of a car is, you know? So what is reasonable? Just kind of use your common sense. And that's what we're going to be looking at today, is like these benchmark ideas. So I'm actually going to like cut these out and put them online for you so you can refer back to these, because these are going to give you kind of like little cheat sheets of what to reference, and it gives you an idea of about how much a certain measurement is. It gives you a good benchmark, is what we call those. So these ones are all about length. So length can be measured in inches, feet, yards, miles. Um, customary customary units of length. So like on your finger, this part, right, is about 1 inch. A license plate is about 1 foot long. A baseball bat, right, is about 1 yard. A mile is if you were going to walk for like about 20 minutes without stopping, that's about how far a mile would be. Or over on the Watauga track that we have over here that we go use during field day, if you walked around it 4 times, that would be a mile. It would take you about 20 minutes. So that's 1 mile. So these are just some different things. So take a look like at these ones. Customary units of volume, right? A cup, we have a pint is like what you would drink for milk at lunch. A quart, a half gallon, a regular gallon is like a milk jug. Customary units of weight, a pencil or a pen like this weighs about 1 ounce. A loaf of bread weighs about 1 pound. A car, right, would weigh about 1 ton, 1 ton, goodness. I'm going to put these again for you online. Now we have metric units of length. So if you took like the stapler, like a staple or a push pin, right? The width of that tiny little amount is going to be about 1 millimeter. If you take your finger, like your pinky, the width of it is about 1 centimeter. We have this fun new word, decimeter, which is about your thumb to the end of your hand. A decimeter is 10 centimeters. The length of a door, like the width of a door from one door frame to the other, is about 1 meter. And then you have a kilometer, which is if you walked for about 10 minutes. So it's a little shorter than a mile, but still walking for about 10 minutes would be quite a bit of distance. Then we have metric units of volume. We have a milliliter, which is just like this little eyedropper tube. So it's like a tiny amount of liquid. And a full liter, which is like a water bottle size. And then for mass, we have a gram would be about like what a dollar bill would weigh. So it's really pretty light. So grams are pretty light. And then a baseball bat. So imagine the weight of a baseball bat is about a kilogram. So we're going to take kind of these ideas of these real world items, and they're going to help us just kind of make predictions on what we think certain things will actually like weigh or actually be. For example, I think there was a problem on one of y'all's Star 360 questions this past month that was like, what's the height of the counter like this? Is it going to be like 4 feet, or is it going to be 4 inches, or is it going to be like 4 miles right off the ground? Just think reasonably. Is it 4 feet off the ground, 4 miles off the ground, or 4 inches off the ground, right? Well, it comes up to like your hip, should be about 4 feet. So that's what I want you guys to be thinking when we look at some of these questions. All right, let's take a look at these. It says, use benchmarks to choose the customary or metric unit you would use to measure each one. So look at this one, the length of a cell phone. So here's my cell phone, right? I want to measure, look, my cousin texted me. Oh, that's Jace, my nephew. He's so cute. I want to measure the length of the cell phone. What am I going to measure it in? Am I going to measure it in feet? It's not even a foot yet, you know? Am I going to measure it in milliliters? Tiny, tiny, tiny little milliliters? No. Like, think reasonably. What is the best thing to measure this cell phone in? For me, what I think it would be easiest to measure it in? Inches, right? I could get a ruler out, which I actually have right here. Right? Measuring it in inches. Nice. It is about, it's almost 6 inches long, right? These are centimeters, which you could do it in that. It's a little bit different, about 15 centimeters. And these little tiny ones are the millimeters, right? So they're itty bitty. I probably wouldn't use the milliliters because it would take forever to count all of those. So you just have to think logically. What thing would make the most sense? Look at this one, number 5. The distance between, these are 2 cities, Seattle and San Francisco. Okay, they're in different states. San Francisco is in California. Seattle is further north. What is the difference, the distance between those two? Is it going to be 6 miles, you think? Or 680 miles? Which one do you think? It's probably going to be, right, 680 miles. 6 miles is not far. It's like 6 miles to the grocery store here in town. 680 miles would be a big difference between the cities that we have. Okay, so I'm going to put these for you where you can see them and you can use them on your questions. But what I need you to do today is just think, what is reasonable, right? Use your common sense and make a decision based off what you know. Okay, good luck. Please let me or Mr. Johnson know if you have any questions.